I am starting to align with these MAGA people on the wokeness stuff. I'm watching Doctor Who, and gosh darn, they beat you over the head with it. In the most recent Doctor Who episode, okay, let's go back. In the second most recent Doctor Who episode, the Doctor, who's this attractive black guy now, doesn't wear pants through the whole thing. He's just there in his like tighty whities. You're looking at his bulge all the time. And I'm like, that just feels like a lot to me. Well, they put him in a skirt for the next episode. And I'm like, I guess this is a step up. So there he is at the dance club, like turning and turning and turning as the skirt flays out. And I'm like, I just feel beaten over the head with it. That one of the main character's daughters is she changed her own gender, you know, like that. I don't use the word right, but
trans.
Yeah, trans. I was stuck on transvestite, and I couldn't get my head off it. But I feel like that's an outdated term that people don't say.
Yeah, they don't use that any. I think they might though. I think of transvestites as the sexuality is completely separate. The gender is completely separate. It's just men who like to dress up like ladies, and they enjoy that. I don't even think it needs to be sexual. Like, I think of those guys from the Birdcage movie, like Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes, as transvestites. And like those guys, like imagine it. Well, yeah, but their characters in the film were like drag queens and transvestites. Okay. I don't remember them being outright gay, but of course I was 7 trying to interpret a lot of adult themes.
Yeah, I'm not up on my terms. I don't know what's preferred. But I agree with you. It's like when it's so ham-handed and obvious, and it's like, oh, you gotta, you know, just clearly no one was sitting in this casting room being like, this guy embodies the character we're going for. They're like, well, okay, this guy, white guy, sorry, no, from the start, no, you got to be black, trans, and gay, and have a club foot. And you know,
it feels like 2/3 of the characters represent 2% of the population, and I'm like, I don't mean to be some sort of bigot, but this is like a lot.
Yeah. So like, you do know that most people are either white or Latino and straight and religious in this country, right? Like, you should have 2 brown Catholics on here who are hateful as fuck right now if we're trying to represent the current state of America. Like, give me 2 second generation Americans who came from Mexico and work hard their whole fucking lives and go to and are Catholic as fuck, taking communion.
Right. And then a redhead guy who hates them.
Yeah,
that's America.
But they fuse together with their hatred for the made-up people who are on the show.
We need 2 black guys catcalling the main character of the show, and a couple of Hispanic day laborers giving side eyes because they don't know what's being said, but they don't like it.
But it's set in London, I think, most of the time, so they should throw in a couple of like African guys who are very rapey. Where is it where that girl got gang raped by the African migrants, and they let 8 out of 9 of them go free? Because they had such a hard life.
That sounds like a Germany thing to do.
I think it's Germany.
It sounds like Germany.
You get what you do. You come up, it's Germany. Well, I don't forget World War II.
You don't forget it. Like, no one's alive from that. You will not let it go.
Dude, honestly, if like genuinely, it seems so petty when they get those Auschwitz guards now. It's like, fuck, dude, what was he guarding? He had to be 12 back then.
Yeah, it's like they're like, he guarded a camp in 1941, and it's like, this guy was born in 1931. It's like, what are we doing here? That's weird.
They're so old, and they throw the book at them every time. You know, they just sentence them to the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
I don't even know what's right. I do like the idea that the people they wrong get justice eventually, but I'm really stuck on the thing. Like, let's not act like they ran this camp. But anyone who's alive now was young when they would do it. They were 18.
Yeah.
16.
It's not good to always be digging up the past, creating division and shit.
I don't know. Those guys are Nazis though, so probably punish them. But.
Well, it goes the other way too. Like, if there's an American war hero from World War II, I say, well, what have you done for me lately? Like, you know,
100%.
At this point, at this point, you know what? I'm revoking your AutoZone discount.
Whoa,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, you guys have gotten enough discounts over the years.
Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna need you to fight in another war,
dude. Every fucking day, combat veterans with both hands. taking. That's that. I wonder if we'll ever have a politician who like comes out and is like, these pampered troops with their VA care. Do you know sometimes some of them even get in? and they get that care for free.
I've been watching more of
We do our
that
best to keep
that
them
YouTube channel where all the participants are in VR chat. So like there's like a fox girl and like Anakin Skywalker will be there, and like there'll be an Ant-Man, like literally like the insect, but he's
And
an
a
ant.
fox girl is a really pretty girl whose animated character is an animal.
like a furry.
No,
Well,
they're all in VR chat. So their avatars that are sitting around a table are avatars. So one of them is like a girl fox hybrid, cartoon character with like paw print tattoos and shit. Anyway, they end up interviewing some of the most interesting people with the coolest jobs, like the guys who do like geospatial reconnaissance or something for the military. I think they're the guys who were in part like controlling the spy satellites and like some of the high altitude drones and stuff like that, compiling imagery and coming up with targets and stuff. Yeah, they're in like a world like this, like chilling, talking about like one guy today. There were two guys that were submariners on nuclear submarines. And so hearing them talk about what life was like in a submarine and what the food was like. But then sometimes you'll have a Marine and he'll be a combat Marine, obviously, and he'll talk about just killing people and what it's like. The really good one was the guy who was the gunner on an AC-130 gunship. And he talked about just all the people they would talk about what they watched, like some Taliban guy, like kill a mother's child in front of her. And everybody's pissed. We're watching. And so when they leave, we follow them and we watch them and we don't let them get out of our sight until the boss hears about it. He said, and he got mad and he said, get them. And we blew that truck up. And it's just like all these stories. Like he starts crying at that story. They're really good. And at first it's silly because, like I said, they're in VR chat, but they're great videos. And
Have you ever watched it? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like talking to people from that have like that military experience that have done that crazy shit like that, because it's never what you think it's gonna sound like. Like I always imagined those guys in that AC-130 were in some bubble of safety, but he talked about getting shot at all the time and getting, a couple of them got shot down, like not him, but like those AC-130 gunships have been shot down. Because they just loiter over the area at low altitude circling.
I guess it depends who you're fighting, right? And Russians can shoot them down, but who are they fighting?
I think Taliban shot one down with, some sort of missile or rocket or something. They went to nighttime flying mostly after that. But like the fact that some of those munitions, I guess, have radioactive materials in them, and all of them have lead in them. And so when they're firing quickly up there, they're just enveloped in this cloud of radioactive lead that they're just breathing in the whole time.
But myth was busted on PKN. You explained to us that nuclear fallout is actually not even pish posh. No big deal.
Well, no. If you want to talk about nuclear fallout, that's real dangerous. That's the materials that have been
on PKN. You said, Tuesday Kyle doesn't think much of nuclear weapons at all.
Yeah, he was mocking them openly.
Yes.
No. Well,
he said, "I dare someone to nuke me."
Well, the idea
I moved
is
to Atlanta just to see if those motherfuckers would try.
Yeah.
But my point was, if you nuked Atlanta, we'd be able to move back in here in 5 or 6 years, and it'd be fine. Like it's not going to irradiate then poison the ground in some way. Like that's just not how nuclear weapons work.
The ones that were made up. I remember feeling like more grown up as a 5-year-old when I used my metal Tonka truck in the yard. Like I'm, like,
That's
I'm
so
past
cool.
the
You guys
years
had
of plastic. I'm an adult.
I was a generation before you, but like there were all kinds of toy trucks and stuff like that. Tonka trucks were built to last back in my day. They were amazing. You could get your body in the bed of a pickup truck, or it's a bigger thing like a dump truck. You could ride that shit down a hill as
yellow
a
and black,
5-year-old.
right?
Oh
and it would hold up. Any other truck, that thing's smashed. It won't do.
You walk into the side of one of those metal Tonka trucks, your shin's gonna get cut.
Which of the so let's flex on Hex here because he didn't get toys growing up. So like every year there, it used to be. You Zoomers don't know anything about this, maybe, but like I guess you do. Like but it's always a PlayStation. It's always a console now. But back in the day, like there was a hot item every Christmas year, and it wasn't another video game console. Like now that seems like the thing it's a PlayStation 8. Like but back then it was like, oh no, it's a Tickle Me Elmo doll. Like every parent is scrambling because they only ordered 3 million of them, and 8 million parents want one this year. And like what was the like the quintessential like toy of the year that you got that was like the big deal? Like please get me the He-Man sword with like audio action.
The fucking Thundercats. For me, the one gift to this day that I remember is my bike. It was just like a BMX. And before that, it was just like a bunch of socks and fucking, I don't know, shit, unmemorable shit. It wasn't toys though. Some were, but it wasn't the ones that I wanted. It was actually, they would give me luchadors. You guys know the Mexican luchadors, right?
Those are cool.
So they gave me those little wax figures instead of fucking Lion-O or Chitara or fucking He-Man and like the shit that I was actually watching on TV. But I'm still thankful for the shit that I got.
Yeah, you probably needed the stuff you were getting. That was just the situation.
Yeah,
it was
but
like,
as a kid, you don't see that shit.
Yeah, I appreciate the socks, but I really wanted that He-Man cat. Do you know about the He-Man castle?
Yeah.
I never had the He-Man.
All right,
castle.
so like, look, I was
so sick.
Dude, I was super into He-Man. I like the movie. The movie got me into the cartoon at the age of like 4 or 5.
That's weird.
Yeah. So because the movie came out in like 86, and I was born in 86. So like the movie's 4 or 5 years old when I watch it. The cartoon's even older.
Mm-hmm.
But I had all the shit, and the He-Man castle was this big fucking thing. Oh, wonderful! You got Oh, that's Castle Grayskull, baby. Oh. And
that's the door that falls, right?
Everything you see there, I had every.
Must be fucking nice.
You see that green fucking tiger with the helmet? I had that bitch.
I did too.
I think I had 2 of them, and the other one was a different color. I had every ounce of that shit, and I had the fucking full-size He-Man sword. And when you hit stuff, it made like noises. It sounded like a lightsaber kind of, but like it was like an impact noise when you struck things with it, and it was like. It looked like the He-Man sword, like how the like pommel and everything is there, and you know the guard or whatever. I can still remember being on the kitchen table, the dining room table, smacking the chandelier, naked as a jaybird, screaming, "I have the power!" and I meant it. God damn it!
I had the He-Man that the green tiger and the red shit, but I had the He-Man that had the shield that got destroyed. So there's 3 sightings. It was the full shield, the half shield, and the destroyed shield. And essentially what you did is it was like a wind up thing where you would go all the way to the one, and then when another enemy hit him, it would like trigger it to fall and flip.
Can I just say, I think my castle was better than that one. The more I look at it, I think mine was a lot better because it had a slide on one side where like they slid down a ramp and came out a door. Mine was way better than that.
Are you thinking of the Knight Castle, where it was like those little plastic figurines of knights? There were the silver knights and the gold knights, and it was a foldable castle like this.
No, it was really big though. It was twice as big. It had the Castle Grayskull like skull face on it. It had a drawbridge, and on the right side, it had like a thing where they like slid down a ramp and like came out a door.
Did you have consistency in your battles for stuff like that? Like when you were doing that, it was a hodgepodge because
everybody got in on the. Everybody got in. I remember like I had this weird memory of being like 4 and wanting my dad to like play like with my army men. And like I had them set up right. I had like the green army men plus all the He-Man shit. Like everything I had was like piled together, and him being like, "That's not really a game, son." Like, I know he just had gotten off work, and it's like. He does not want to play army, man. He wants to like go out, but he's like, want to go? I'm sure he was like, want to go shoot a gun into the woods? And I was probably like, fuck yeah.
No, I'm defending Grayskull.
I think I have this plastic sword. Why would I bother with a shotgun?
I gravitated toward the gun, so he was handing them to me at a very young age.
I loved
my key present was a wetsuit. Like I was a surfer. And surfing, where I grew up, it's not just like an activity you do after school. It's an identity. It's a friend group. It's a sense of self-worth. It's everything. And you cannot surf a New Jersey winter without a proper wetsuit. Like I think you'd literally die. Like it's not a thing that you can do. And surfing was taken away from me as the weather got cold. And it was my Christmas present. And I just I had wetsuits that weren't meant for really cold weather. like a spring suit or a fall suit, and they just stopped doing the job where literally you couldn't survive. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
And on Christmas Day, I got a fucking pimp ass winter wetsuit that allowed me to. It snowed, and not even like a good, beautiful snow. It was like a sleety, icy rain type snow. And I'm there in my bomb ass wetsuit, like not even cold, unzipping a little bit to let the snow in because I'm melting in there. And I went surfing in the slush water, and it was like, I'm back, baby.
Wait, what about your feet though?
I had booties for my feet. I had a cap that gave me a rash under my neck. It looked like I had hickeys, but trust me, no girls were touching me. But,
not with that rash.
Right? It was like little scabs or something that would serve. Maybe the Velcro rubbed it. I don't know, but you needed a hoodie or you get this awful ice cream headache every time you duck dived under a wave. And but yeah, they hooked me up with gloves, hoodie, booty, and a wetsuit, and surfing was back.
Mine was the Ghostbusters Proton Pack. I have a very vivid memory of being 4 or 5 years old and explaining to my dad, because I want a proton. They ask you, what do you want? Proton Pack, like from Ghostbusters, the pack. And my dad being like, yeah, we'll get you one of those, because they made them as a toy back then, like a legit one. And I said, now I don't want a toy. I want, a proton pack that shoots lasers so that, I can burn stuff and like,
How old are you this time?
Did you also want a
4 or 5?
lightsaber?
I'm either 4 or 5, and I'm trying to make it so clear to him, because I can because I remember him being like, yeah, we're going to get you. We already told you we're going to get it for you. Don't worry, we're going to get it. What he meant was he has it. I didn't understand that at 4 or 5, but I can still remember trying to clarify that, like, I don't want some bullshit piece of plastic. I want a fucking proton pack. But like, I got the proton pack, and they still talk. They're like, he was so rude. We gave him his proton pack. He pouted. He pouted the whole night, and I was like, no. You pulled that shit that they pull now on kids, where they put a rock in a box and give it to them for Christmas. Like I didn't tell you I wanted a toy. I asked for a goddamn nuclear-powered proton pack to go waste some ghouls and goblins. You
couldn't have been any clearer.
All you had to say was, those don't exist, son. It's a science fiction movie. And I'd have been like, oh, cool. Can I have a shotgun? They'll do the same thing. I just thought a proton pack was cooler.
I'm remembering a present. Like I was looking through like the most popular gifts of the 90s, trying to jog my memory. And I remember one of the most devastating gifts I ever received was one year. It was probably 96. So I'm like 5 years old. And I can still, if I close my eyes, I can see vividly the commercial for moon shoes. Moon boots, they were called. They were purple plastic moon boots, and they were like around where your shoes were. You would put your shoes on top of this little mini trampoline on each side. You would strap yourself in, and these kids on the commercial were soaring. They
jumping
were
over cars and shit.
They were jumping over cars. They were flying through the air. And I remember like my thought being like, as like I requested those for Christmas, and I remember my thought being like, now these are no joke, Taylor. You got to be careful. That's exactly what they were.
Look at the kids.
Look at the kids. They're in space. Yeah, they're leaping. They're leaping among the stars. And I got these, and I was a big 5-year-old, 6-year-old.
$43.
That is ridiculous. Yeah. They should be 7.
I strap both feet in and immediately sink to the ground. And you start to jump, and what happens if you try and jump is, because these have no balance whatsoever, your foot clips the inside rim of it as it's coming up, and you damn near kill yourself sometimes trying to get a tiny amount of air. And when you do get any air, God forbid, you come clacking down on this hard plastic with no traction, and you're on concrete because you're in your basement or whatever the fuck. Flat-footed. It was the most like high in the sky, so excited seeing that package, to distraught realizing I'd been had. I think that was the first time I was like, they can lie on TV. Like I didn't know that. I thought there must be a judge or something like measuring the height of these kids. Another one, Bop It. Bop
Twist
It
It.
came out when I was like 5 or 6, and I remember thinking that was cool, but I didn't have the dexterity to bop it, twist it, and pull it fast enough to keep up at like 4 or 5
You
or
ever
whatever.
play with a partner?
Yeah, we would cheat. It would
Guys,
be like, all right, I'm on the bop, you hold the pull, you hold the twist, and then we would do that.
That's a great tip if you're a guy. Put one of those on your coffee table, and if you want to like kind of break the ice with a girl, pretend like you're awful at that game and that you need her help. You fail terribly in front of her. She'll like that.
Well, I was planning on coming home soon, Cindy, but I'm gonna fuck this retard out of pity.
yeah. Let her beat you and bop it, and then get her to like come over, and then you can like engage her physically. Okay, that's
Yes.
part of the dentist system.
Make her depend on you to win at bop.
Well, she's going to depend on you because you let the air out of her tires by jumping out the bathroom window when you take a piss, and you always want to unscrew the valve stem. That way, they can't just pump that bitch back up. Now you have their valve stem.
Not that you've done it or thought about it
That tool
before.
costs $1.50. You unscrew the valve stem, and then like when a mechanic tells her, "Oh my God, you don't have a valve stem. You need a whole new one," and you could be like, "Don't worry, baby, I'll fix it for you." He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now you alpha the mechanic in front of her. Okay.
Jesus, you've never thought about this before.
No,
yeah,
I
you
saw-
got to go for dumb. Hey, I have if you want to get back coworkers, here's the move.
Okay.
Unscrew the cap on their tire, put a rock in the cap, screw it back, have it hold down the valve stem just a little bit. They have a very slow leak that's not timed to you at all.
Oh, that's awful. And it's not destruction of property. It's just putting them in a hazardous situation.
I guess so. Hopefully you're not on camera.
Not that we've thought about this before.
Yeah, be
Trust
careful
that.
with those cameras. Yeah.
Or, if you're worried about that, just put birdseed all over their car.
Oh, that's the real play. I love that clip of they made it sound like these kids were terrorists or something, but they mixed like laxatives in with birdseed and like put huge amounts of it out at the beach. And then they film it to like music. There's like it's like a musical montage of birds shitting on people.
No.
and like you're laughing at it like it's hysterical, right? And then
I'd be
there's
furious.
an infant who's like little baby, like, and it shits right on the baby's head. You feel a little bad, but
You won't remember it.
But everybody, like, don't imagine like occasionally somebody's like, "Oh, what was that?" Like everyone at the beach is staring at the sky in disgust and wiping themselves because it's raining shit.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want my day at the beach ruined. I don't like it anymore.
Oh, it ruined everyone's day. I mean, it's Taylor. It makes them shit their guts out. It might kill them. I don't know. They were, like it was so much bird shit, and they couldn't stop.
No, they had no choice but to keep shitting and then die of dehydration later.
Because not only had they eaten the laxative, right? They had eaten like all of the bird seed that had been thrown out. So they're, it was.
They overdosed on that shit, man.
Maybe so.
Wow, that wise old man. we you know what? We will see. You know,
That's a good movie.
We'll see.
It is a pretty good movie. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's back when the Taliban were the good guys that we were rooting for, and America was arming them. So they
What's
could take on
the-
the Russians?
What's like that movie that had that like plaque at the end that was like, this movie is dedicated to the brave freedom fighters of the Mujahideen?
Rambo 3, maybe 4.
Rambo,
Kyle's
that
gonna
sounds
know
right.
this. Kyle,
Yeah, I think you're talking about the Brave Mujahideen, and that was Rambo 3. They later changed it to the Gallant People of Afghanistan, because that's more politically correct at post 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went back and edited Rambo 3 post 9/11. That's wild.
Yeah.
Just the post film like little text drop, on the screen. It used to say thanks to the Brave Mujahideen or something like that. I'm guessing, I never thought about it, but maybe there's some fucking Mujahideen fighters in fucking Rambo 3, because there are those big scenes of everyone riding the horses and camels and shit. That's not a good movie.
They should have
back
went
in
with
the
something
day,
safer.
These guys were heroes for taking on Russia. They dared to go against a superior force with nothing but bravery, and then they did it to us.
Stingers. Bravery and stingers supplied
Eventually.
by the CIA.
Yeah,
And brand new Toyota Tacomas.
man, these guys love Tacoma.
Compliments of Chronic Toyota. Come on by today. Like I wish someone would do that.
Look at that.
There was some article I was looking at. This was a while ago, like during like when the Taliban, breaking free and conquering the country was all over the news. It was like there was a guy who owned like a painting company in Michigan, and it was like Joe's, good time painting, and like how they have on the side of the truck it says Joe's Painting and then his number and like just a little logo of a house with like paint on it. And this guy was like watching the news apparently, and his old truck drives by as part of a Taliban procession, and you can still see like Joe's Painting Company, and he's like, the fuck? How did my old truck get to Afghanistan? Just some guy with an AK right in the back of the truck. It is. That's what we should take away from this. That Toyota Tacomas are high quality vehicles.
They really are.
There should be a picture of like Osama there, like it says like terrorist choice. And
they should have like life-size paper cutouts in the showroom.
Yeah, he's in the showroom there, standing next to it.
It could be dead Osama though, with like bullet holes. And
the Taliban summer sales event. And but anyway,
I'm glad that'll never be on the news again.
Oh, it will eventually. Everything.
I haven't heard anything since they took over. Seems like it's going okay.
No, then it's probably done forever.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Taliban not being in the news.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that they're happy and prosperous now.
They're like lifting weights in bad form, having a blast.
to the gallant people of Afghanistan.
There you are.
I'm glad they are once again under the ruling themselves as they should have.
The bad shit happens all over the world. Just in some places we make it our problem.
Yeah, I saw a really good Key and Peele speech. There's a Key and Peele episode where like they're both playing like local tribesmen talking to like a white American, and they're walking and they're like, "We are very sick," and he's like, "Yeah, it's terrible. We are very poor. Yeah, I hate it. We are hungry," and he's like, "Yeah, that's the worst. We have oil. You do." Oil. Operation Golden Freedom is a go. Like, you look up and the sky is suddenly filled with like every American aircraft imaginable. It's like we have natural gas as well.
It's pretty on the nose.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anytime one of those little African countries decides to like massacre 30% of their fucking population in the most horrific way imaginable because the Tutus don't like the Mumus or something, then we don't really have much to say about that. But like, if something's happening over in the oil-rich regions of the world, I guess we do. And there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think, because they don't have shit for us in Africa. Why do we care? Like, if they cut us in on that diamond stuff, right?
And I think the diamond stuff is like De Beers, like sitting on piles and piles of diamonds and only releasing little bits, right?
Yeah, it's literally a monopoly.
Inflated. Yeah,
it's literally the definition of a monopoly. They if they released all the diamonds that they have already mined and cut, then diamonds would be worth what, fucking nothing, like very little.
They also invented the concept of getting a woman a diamond ring for.
Sure did. Diamonds are forever.
De Beers did. De Beers invented that concept.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's pretty bizarre.
And you can't get a fucking away from it, man. It's like that shit's here to stay. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can get away from it though. You can't make me.
I mean, you can't make
you get married.
You can't make everybody do it, but a lot of people are going to do it because
I'm not going to do it. I'll get her a fake diamond. Tell her it's real. She won't know.
She genuinely wouldn't.
A question for everyone, probably mainly Kyle. My girlfriend just broke up with me, and I thought she was the one. So this poor guy got dumped. It's been on and again, off again for a few years, not unlike Kyle's past experience. In fact, this has attempted to drive me to suicide and into the depths of depression and addiction, so hearing Kyle's story meant a lot to me. This time around, we both gave it a solid try, and it didn't work, and I'm ready to move on forever. I don't want kids or a relationship in the foreseeable future. I just want to have fun and fuck around, but I don't enjoy high-energy parties or going to clubs, mainly because I never get laid doing that, but because my personality can't shine and I feel awkward. I'm an attractive dude with a good body, but at the end of the day, it's the personality that seals the deal. Basically, my question is, how do I be a hoe when I don't enjoy loud environments with tons of people I don't know? It's overwhelming. I just want friends with benefits, meaningless sex. And then there's a PS. I'm on Tinder, and I get a lot of responses, but it fizzles out.
Yeah, you want to be on like all the dating sites. that you can afford, and you want to pay for the premium versions of them.
They cost money.
Yeah, they can.
What do you get for the premium version?
Various things. One of the big ones is you can see who's looked at you or liked you, depending on like the service. Things that help you get more likes. Literally, there are ways that you can pay to like boost and make sure that your profile is on everybody's homepage. Essentially, that works. Like when I would pay for a boost, like I would time it so that I was like, okay, people get off work at 5 p.m. probably home and like sitting in a chair by 7 if they're like. I just figured that chicks are on Tinder at 7 p.m. That's the hot time. So like, all right, we'll boost at 6:30 and we'll run through there, and like it would be so effective. Like as far as I can't read your text messages to women and see what you're saying. That's not like sealing the deal. So who knows why two people don't like hook up or make things work together. But I would say it's really important to be direct, and but not too direct. And if you don't know the difference, then you're just gonna have to go by experience, because you got to be somewhere between let's fuck and talking.
I've had success with the first one.
I've had success. All right, so let me just say this: it's easy to get a fucking female pen pal that you fucking chat with every day and nothing ever happens. Those are a dime a dozen, but. So you can go that route and hope that this chick is eventually going to be like, oh, by the way, I would love your penis inside me one night. Come to my house. They're never going to be that direct about anything. Women don't really do that. So you're going to have to be the one that's like, come to my house. Like set up a date at your own home. Get them there. And, generally, often, sometimes they're going to want to meet
another
like
good
have
tip.
a bar near your house that you're going to invite them to. Like be like, hey, like I understand. Be understanding that dating is scary for women as well. Like you need to I would often like bring that up right away. Like be like, hey, I know it's a little sketchy. We just met or whatever. We just started talking, but would you like to go grab a drink and or maybe something to eat tonight? There's this place kind of between us. We could meet there. I'm going to be there either way. This way, I'm not a crazy or something. Hey, look, tell your friends you're going to be meeting me there. Whatever you want to do. I want to prove to you that I'm not a crazy.
No, just show up. My name is Matthew Woodworth. And I'm from Raleigh.
I will say this: like the first hint of being a fucking creep that you ever accidentally give to a woman who doesn't feel safe with you yet is going to be an immediate, like dry as the desert pussy. Blocking you, stringing you along a little because now she's afraid of blocking you, kind of thing.
Creep? Like if you say, like, dude, you look great. I'd love to jump those bones. Creep?
It's going to depend on the girl.
You're like that. Aim for the middle, right?
You've got to get a feel of like
jump those bones.
I like that one, right?
I like that.
So like it definitely depends. What
if she's dressed like a skeleton?
That would be good. Like if she was dressed as a skeleton on there, or if she had an eating disorder, that'd be hot too.
Yes.
Like let her know that you noticed she's been putting the work in.
Right. Yeah.
She's been hitting that toilet 3-4 times.
Anorexia.
No, like you've got to feel that out to know if it's time to like start talking in a more of an adult way. Like, hey, you're
nice tits.
Like literally, like there's a point where you're going to say nice tits, and to her that's going to be a genuine compliment from someone she likes.
Well, yeah, after she sends a picture of her tits to you.
Well, yeah, if she sends a picture of your tits to you,
which demonstrates a like. Yeah.
All right, if she's sending nudes, then we're already in the home stretch, right? Like now you just have to like send nudes that she's not going to be grossed out by, right?
Yeah.
like.
I just squat over my phone. I don't even send a dick pic. It's just my hairy asshole.
It's a GIF.
It's a GIF of my hairy asshole, and I'm like flexing it.
Yeah, that's
like winking my ass.
So
yeah, that's how I get girls.
I guess my takeaway from Kyle's thing was the premium aspects of the dating sites are worth the money, and unless she's giving you hints, kind of aim for making this happen without being crude and outright like, let's fuck bitch.
Yeah, and here's another
initially
tip.
You should be trying to form a connection with this person because you want a connection with them to some like presumably you don't literally just want a wet hole. You might want to like
it depends where you're at in life.
all right, sometimes that's where you're at in life. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But what I'm getting at is like your initial job is to form a connection and find out if there is a connection and find the things you have in common and talk those up, right? Like that's step one. If she wants your dick, like she's gonna let you know so obviously, like within the first hour or two, and then you can transition into like just sending her your address. But like the main thing is like if you can make the date happen at your house, then you really need to make the date happen at your house. Like it's so much easier to like transition a date at your house where it's like dinner and a movie to sex or whatever it sounds like that's what you want.
I never did like the just come to, well, actually that's not true. I did that a few times, but usually it was like, we'd like grab a drink somewhere. And that was more as a way to be like, hey, I'm a normal guy. Like, let's go grab a drink. You'll be able to see that I'm normal. We'll be around a ton of people. And then you'll feel comfortable enough to come back with me when you realize I'm not a murderer. This is when I became high level Tinder back in the day. This is what I also did is I would get the in and set up the sex date for them to come over and us to fuck. And what I would do is after that was secured, I would start mentioning passively plans I had at 10 o'clock, 10:30, and they were coming over at 7:30. And so the whole time, like I'd be like, I can't wait. It's going to be so nice to meet you. It's a damn shame I have to go to my buddy's thing at 10. And so they would come over and we'd have sex. And then by like 9:30, 9:45, I was like, God damn it. The time has flown by. Like, I got to hit you back up. We got to hang out again. This was a bunch of fun. And then I would go hang out with my friends and they'd be like, Taylor, did you do the Tinder thing again? where you like tell a girl to come over and then you fuck and then you have plans at 10. And I was like, yeah, dude, the plans at 10 thing works great. Cause then I would like just walk across the street to where all my friends lived in an apartment complex and hang out the rest of the night like a stag, like a single guy.
Yeah, I've definitely had girls like I had a girl come over one time and then she's like,
is that psychopathic?
No, that's
normal, right?
I think that's from Seinfeld even.
Why
like
is
having to get up early in the morning, all that stuff.
Why do you want that?
I never pulled the well, it's because I wanted to go hang out with my friends that night, but I didn't want to bring a girl that I wasn't really that interested in with me. And so I would say like, you come over, we'll fool around, and then my stars and garters, I've got to head out, and then you usher her out and she leaves, and then you go to your friend's house.
My dumb ass didn't contemplate the idea you'd be having sex with someone that you didn't want to have sex with again, and
not today.
Yeah. Well, not today. Like some recurring customers.
We're all done for today.
But like it wasn't like, and most of these girls also were not like, oh, I wanted to spend the whole night together. They're like, no, I got my dick. I want to go home.
Okay,
like, and that's what they want. Like,
yeah, I've only ever had, I think like one or two girls. Like this one girl, she had pajamas, and I was like, oh shit. Like I didn't say anything, but I was thinking like, you just assumed that it was pajama time, and she's like in like a full pajama thing, like she had planned to spend the night over, and that was the first time I'd ever met her, and it was like, okay, well, it's fine. I guess I'm a light sleeper. I know you won't rob me in the night. We'll be good.
Yeah, I do that. Realizing that someone's spending the night when you don't want them to is a troublesome thing. I had that. I fooled around with a girl in the bathroom of a restaurant, probably 5 years ago. It was called Bar Louie in Central West End.
It was an Arby's.
Still there. No, it wasn't Arby's. It was Bar Louie in Central West End, and where I lived at the time when I was in the city. And I remember going there, and I was just blackout drunk. It was late at night, and I was like with this girl, and not with her, but like I went to the restaurant across my apartment and met up with a friend of mine, and he was like, this cute girl is kind of into you, and I was like, oh, that's neat, but I was fucking wasted. And then we went all of us went to Bar Louie, and I saw a girl that I knew had a crush on me in high school that I hadn't seen in many years, and she ditched her date and we started talking, and then we went in the bathroom and she wanted me to do cocaine with her, and I said, no, that's okay, you can just suck me off. And so then she started giving me head in the bathroom there, and I could hear outside the bathroom the girl I was with prior to this like getting like pissed and like talking to my friend Tim, like, what the fuck is wrong with your cunt friend? And like I was so drunk, I didn't realize like what I had done was so like shitty.
So was that wrong?
Yeah, was that wrong? And so then we just left and went back to my place, and we fooled around for a while. And after that, I remember being like, "You want to watch an episode of Sunny or something?" Like, and in my head, I was like, "This will be the 20-minute buffer before you leave."
Yeah.
And she goes to the bathroom, comes back out, full frilly, fucking comfortable sleeping clothes, and then it's like, okay. You're a real true piece of shit if you tell her to leave or you imply she should leave. You are truly garbage, a garbage tier person. You have to let this girl stay. And so then it's like, oh, well, you're more than welcome. I was expecting you to stay the whole time. I got some Gatorades. You want some Gatorades out of my single guy apartment?
Blue?
It's green. It's the worst flavor. I've got 2 greens in there. Oh, I remember she was like, "Do you have anything else to drink?" I was like, "I have half a bottle of tequila and 2 green Gatorades." And she was like, so "That's fine."
We were talking about this a while back. I've never been baptized, which apparently is a real rare thing. I'm sure Harley hasn't either. But for us Gentiles, it's I don't know anyone else who wasn't baptized. I need to ask my parents what the fuck happened.
I'm baptized. Man, they've dropped the ball.
Or maybe they made some sort of deal.
Didn't get baptized until I was like 19, but I still got baptized.
You still knocked it out. You're covered probably.
Yeah, but I went through that whole childhood of Southern Baptist hell and damnation and brimstone. Nope.
Don't you see demons?
That shit sucks.
Yes, sometimes.
You see real demons. So I'm not going to use you as a case study for baptism, and it's been.
I love the frown, the over the frown response you get because of the fucking giant lips.
How do the demons make you feel?
See demons? You see demons?
It's a very long story, but the short version is much more prevalent in childhood than in adulthood. I suffered from hallucinations, not the schizophrenic kind where you really, well, I mean, as a kid, I thought they were like real, you know? As an adult, I might see things like a shadow person walk by super quick or something like that. And I know it's not real, and I know it's my mind playing tricks on me, but as a child, they were much more intense. And I saw a whole bunch of crazy ghosts and demons and things that talked to me and all sorts of crazy shit. I think it was a combination of a very unpleasant medical condition I have and a very toxic
You spoke about this on the show, right?
Yeah, I did. I told the story and stuff like that. So I, in the past, have seen things like demons and ghosts and supernatural events, and I also have very, very bizarre dreams where a very unpleasant thing often talks to me and kind of controls the scenario.
Is that still happening now, or pretty few and far between?
It was pretty much dead for a long time. I had a brief resurgence about 3 or 4 months ago. Very unpleasant dream. It was. Are we going to do that? Are we going to go into paranormal? If we're going to do that, I'll take the clown nose off. It's kind of itchy.
Yeah, you can take the clown
I think you take it off anyways.
Now I look a little.
That's
bit more
so
like
much worse.
Clown.
Now you look like a French Quebec daytime ballet. Anyone where I'm from knows what I'm talking about. By the way, continue.
The Quebecois people.
But it's like, imagine you've played something like Left 4 Dead, where there's like an AI, the director that directs your game. Imagine when you go to sleep and you have a dream, it's lucid, so you're you and you're awake, and you might even know that you're dreaming, but you're not in control of it, and there is perhaps another malevolent director there putting you through some sort of godforsaken scenario, and if you break out of the scenario, you're probably going to a meeting room where you have to have a very unpleasant meeting of some kind.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not fun. I don't sleep that well.
I don't blame you.
I can't fix it. If I get some of my problems fixed, it may go away on its own, which would be great. I am Tuesday going to see the only specialist in the state that will talk to me, and then I might have, embarrassingly, yet another final answer for this stupid problem.
Peter Venkman, right?
No, it's a infectious disease specialist. I may have a protozoan infection, which is not good. You don't want that. It's a little. It's like a little, kind of like a bacteria, but a little nastier, and they live in your red blood cells.
How do you get rid of those?
I'm not entirely sure, and it doesn't seem like it always goes away. So that's why I'm going to a real doctor to get an answer.
And if that,
hope you get good news.
Another option would be to dream train to grow stronger every day. So when you do encounter the shadow man in the dream, you are far more powerful than he ever expected you to be.
I got a trick.
Sell a supplement for that.
We do.
Yes.
Makes you come.
We really do. Yeah,
I do have a trick
like
for that,
on Derek's
for real.
site, there's a dream supplement. Makes you
Really,
strong
I didn't know
in
that.
dreams.
Yeah.
The
Really
trick
dream
I
dreams.
learned is that if your heart rate gets over a certain amount, you almost always wake up. Like your body just has like a fail-safe mechanism if that happens.
Mhm.
So if something's getting really fucked, I stop in the dream and concentrate and try to just hyperventilate, get my heart rate up super high, and just imagine it. And usually I'll just poof right out after.
Oh,
like
I
a
got the
minute or
answer
two.
for you.
Damn.
So
Okay.
do you have a smartwatch?
Been tracking
You
it.
can, yeah, you can set that thing to wake you up if it gets above a certain point. Because I know my butt. Someone I know went to sleep after doing a bunch of cocaine and Adderall, and their Apple Watch woke them up because they thought they were dying because they probably were. Their heart rate was like 170 in their sleep or some shit.
In their sleep.
So
Dude, that's
bizarrely
like
about this,
that's like panic attack level of blood
Yeah.
pressure.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
don't
you
do
guys
that.
about crazy dreams and shit like that, right? According to this, I dream only about 15 minutes a night, which is way less than what you need. And
Yeah.
a lot goes on in those 15 minutes, I'll tell you. Either that
Freddy
or it's
Krueger
just
shit.
not reading right.
Oh, there's
Uh,
full on time dilation in our dreams, which is interesting,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Absolutely.
Big
how
time.
does
Big time.
that's a bizarre part about dreams that I would love to hear a doctor and a scientist talk about, like how that works. How does time dilation in dreams? Because
And a man
it
of God.
feels
Let's
like
cover
You
all the
wake up
bases.
sometimes exhausted. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know how that shit ended. It went
Yeah.
on. I was like
I've been able
camping
to-
for weeks.
I've left a dream scenario, like it had been a long dream, maybe running from bad guys through the woods or something, and then wake up and be like, all right, I'm awake, and then be, oh shit, I got to get back in there, and went back to sleep and got back in. I've done that before.
That's
how does that
awesome
fucking
when
work?
you do
too.
that.
How does that work?
I
don't
think
know
it
how
works
that
because you want to go back. Your mind is already in the
Or
mindset.
is it because that place is real? Because our minds have made it real.
But
and
doesn't it
exists
feel
for-
very real sometimes?
I think that our dreams might be more than just our brains putting on a show for us. Like maybe we're creating some kind of little pocket universe that we're going off and playing around in.
Maybe. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that kind of is what it is. It's
Don't get your
in
hopes up, though.
mind's
You're not going
eye.
Ah,
anywhere
it's
when
the
you die.
simulation, and you come
No.
out, and you're like, it's my dream
This has
world.
nothing to do with that. Still, just
I like a huge amount of the time when I have a bad dream, like I don't remember anything about it other than like I'll wake up like more anxious than normal and just be like, I must have had some kind of weird dream.
I've had that.
Like, but I can't nail down like what was it about? It must have been kind of upsetting, but I have
Bad,
no
bad? Like a night
clue.
terror, like where you jump up yelling and stuff?
No, I've never had that. Like I've never like I
I
don't
keep saying
really,
things, and I'm only
I don't
picturing
wake
you in the
up.
clown makeup doing it, like
Yeah, I don't wake up
sleeping
out of
and jumping
nightmares.
up, screaming, full clown costume.
You do
Just
know how I
waking
look like
up in
normally,
terror.
right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Not clownish. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a nightmare. Or no, I when I was a kid, I woke myself up with nightmares occasionally. I woke up during a very brief nightmare where I was like, my mom was calling me to like run through the garage to get to her car so she could drive us to school. And I was closing the garage on my way out, and I tripped, and the garage door crushed my head, and I died. And I remember waking up from that like, oh my God, I never thought of that as a way to die. is having your head crushed at the age of 7, and then thinking like, oh my God, and my mom and my brother would still be out in the car looking at like my head all over the drive. Oh, that was a terrible dream for a 7-year-old.
boy.
My dream
Yeah,
when I
that's a
was
good
7
one.
is I would be at school, and I'd be like, I'm here naked? Why did I come all the way here naked? What a fuck up.
What a fuck up.
Literally,
Damn.
that'd be my dream. I'd be like, I forgot everything, even my clothes. This is crazy. Why would this happen? And it's just my dream is me standing there stressing, being like, how am
Yeah.
I going to spin this?
I remember like
7.
probably 4 years ago, which maybe not even that long, 2 or 3 years ago, I had like the first nightmare in many years where I hadn't done my homework. And like
Yeah.
I had like not, or no, what it was I realized I was enrolled in a class that I had never gone to, and it was
Yeah.
near
Oh,
the end of the semester. And like I wake up from it or whatever, and it's like I'm like actually like worried about something, and then I have
Yeah.
to remind like you're 32, you're not in school, like that it's fine.
So here's the school nightmare that I have. I haven't had it in a while, but maybe three to 5 years or something. But I used to have it all the time, and way into adulthood. I have been enrolled in the wrong classes, or I have taken more units than I thought I had. And I've never attended these classes, though. It's become news to me today that, yes, you do have a third and fourth period class. This is not a half day. You've been working a half day for the year, and you were supposed to be learning calculus and biology. And so now, today, there is a Scantron fucking test for both of those classes, and you have to cram right now for the test today. And all of a sudden they start handing out Scantron sheets while I'm looking in this book that's this thick, and it's just so scary.
Just
because
panicky.
I do everything. I'm trying to talk to the teacher. I'm trying to like cheat. Nothing works.
Yeah, the reason I think that scares me is because literally, I think it was my junior year of college. I was in like Finance 3000 or some upper level finance course, and for the second test, there were only 3 tests. So test 2 is halfway through the fucking semester. And I sit down next to this guy, and through some conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm so glad the tests are fucking easy as shit. And because the tests were a joke. Like I got like a
That's
high
good.
A. And like on the first one, I come from the second one, and I'm like, man, this class is so great. Easy as can be. I never come to it. And the guy I was talking to was like, yeah, but like attendance is like 15% of your grade. And I was like,
oh
no, that can't be true. I couldn't have
professor?
made that kind of oversight. And so then I just like, I had it in my head. I was like, okay, you cannot get back 8% of this entire grade. Like you just have to go to every class from here on out. And like ended up still doing fine because it was easy as shit. But I remember like that was such a big fuck up, because I had never blown off a class where they took attendance. That always seemed like so over the line to me. That's just willing laziness and indignance and ignorance. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what I did. I was kicking myself for that. It's like, you fucking retard, you moron. You missed,
It didn't matter,
you missed
Taylor.
every single day other than test 1 and test 2.
It didn't matter then, and it doesn't matter now. You didn't even need the degree.
It didn't matter.
Nope.
You're right. It didn't matter at all.
Did any of you use your degrees?
No.
None of it matters.
Got
I
lots
use
of
it
degrees,
every
don't need
week
'em.
on this show.
Yeah, you
Not
can
really.
you can get those printed off the internet, and no one checks if they're real.
No.
I saw
And
a
once
Reddit
you
post
have your
the other day
first
from a
job out
guy.
of college, no one cares about your college
about?
transcript ever again. They care
I
about
saw
your
a-
first job.
I saw a Reddit post, and the guy was like, "I've been living a lie for X amount of years." He's working as some kind of professional with a fake degree. He's not a doctor or anything. That's different. But you know, he's working a professional job where they think he went to some school somewhere, and there's a diploma on his wall and everything. But that ain't real.
Dude,
He's like,
boomers
"Ah,
can fake shit
I
so
once
easy.
saw a professor who worked for like 10 years as a professor of ethics with a fake degree.
You can get them printed right off.
That's hilarious.
Go right now. There are multiple companies who make very good fake degrees, and they'll go so far as to have your, references and everything. Like they're backed up.